To Roger Binny once again at the press conference taken up by the BCCI chief after his appointment.
We have to get clearance from the government. So once the government gives us the clearance, then we go ahead. We can't take a decision on our own. We have to rely from the government.
Hello, sir. Afzal from ESPN Cricket Info. My question is that are domestic player contracts on your agenda? And what all other items regarding the welfare of the players are on your agenda for the next 3 years?
Well, I think the domestic players, with the Ranji Trophy players, are they looked after pretty well. You see, they're taken care of. I mean, they have good facilities. They stay in good places. So I don't think there's any need for that at the moment. I think what is needed is to lift the standard of Ranji Trophy. See, the Ranji Trophy is the premier tournament in the country. So if you're going to have some of the players don't have interest in playing it. So that is what we got to see to try and lift it up. Along with the Ranji Trophy, you have the Dilip Trophy, you have the Rani Cup, where there's how many people knew that a Rani Cup was played a month back, and how many people watched it? So we have a culture. Our cricketing fans don't support the game. The game is supported by the franchises and the sponsors. So that's what we need to change. And I don't think there's anything much to be tinkered with around in the cricketing circles. I think the payments have been doing well. It's probably the cricketers who have played a few matches. Like Karnataka takes care of cricketers who have played 1 or 2 matches, they get a pension. But around the country, they get it. So we'll probably look to see that those people get a little bit of stipend to help them out in their day-to-day chores.
So, Joanne and John from Sports 18. So, sir, my question is, how do you plan on launching the upcoming women's IPL?
Well, it's surprisingly it's very, very popular. Not as popular as the men's, but it's going to get very popular because the game has really taken giant strides now. In the last 2-3 years, you see the Australian teams, you see the English team, you see our Indian team, and the batsmen that have come out of it. So there's definitely going to be a lot of people wanting to look at the IPL. I hope we get a lot of people coming to the games. It's going to be televised live. But I think it's another feather in the cap for the BCCI to organize that event.
Yeah, compared to KSA, few state boards are a bit weak in their organization and financial condition. How you are going to take it, sir, further?
Well, see, the board has different slots for development. Okay, now Karnataka, the test centers, Karnataka and Mumbai and Tamil Nadu, they have a lot more cricket than what's happening with the second string. So I think once your cricket improves and develops, automatically your funding also will improve. So they're not going to be left back. See, in the past there were teams like so many teams didn't have a ground. But now they've got such good facilities. So everybody is getting a chance. There's a lot of funding going on for cricket and to help the game to take off.
Taking forward this Asia Cup, coming back on India and Pakistan, of course, it is a prerogative of the central government. Pakistan.
So you said it again, I don't hear. Last question. Okay, no, we haven't done that. Because see what happened exactly now when India's turn to host the Asia Cup, they gave it to the UAE to host. You see, so that's what India, probably the BCCI wants to do. They want the Asia Cup to be played in a neutral venue. You see, but we have not approached anybody in that time.
Roger, you're somebody who's advocated red ball cricket. Would you see that percolating into women's cricket as well? Because India doesn't play as many test matches in women's cricket.
Well, but if you see the last 5 years, there's been a lot more cricket happening in the women's cricket also. You know, the one days, the World Cups, the T20s. There's quite a bit happening. So it will definitely change. There will be a lot more movement because, like I said, women's cricket has become immensely popular. You know, and so that's definitely going to change things. Yeah, you will get more.
Right, that was Roger Binny there addressing a press conference after taking over as the BCCI chief, also making a very crucial comment on the ongoing controversy with respect to India and Pakistan with respect to the cricket match, the Asia Cup. Karishma joins us live on the broadcast for more on this. Karishma, Roger Binny there making absolutely clear that this is not a call that the BCCI is going to make.
Well, it's absolutely, and this is exactly what the sports minister also earlier said, that this is not a call that the BCCI can make single-handedly. The Home Ministry is involved, and the Home Ministry gives clearance whenever the Indian players are traveling abroad, not just cricketers, but any athlete representing any sport is supposed to travel abroad. He gets clearance from the Home Ministry. And in this case, it is going to be very, very difficult for the Indian board to get clearance from the Home Ministry to travel to Pakistan. In fact, the BCCI secretary and the ACC president Jai Shah has already made it clear that India won't be traveling to Pakistan for the Asia Cup. And now the new BCCI president Roger Binny also echoing the same thing, that this is not a decision that the BCCI can take. It is the government's decision, because at the end of the day, you are looking out for the safety and security of our players. And if anything, God forbid, were to happen to them, then who would take that responsibility? So all of these things are to be kept in mind before making that decision. And everyone knows the situation between India and Pakistan, the circumstances that are there for the last many years. Given that it looks next to impossible that the Indian government will allow the Indian team to travel to Pakistan for the Asia Cup, and it is likely what Mr. Jai Shah said, that will happen, that the Asia Cup will be moved to a neutral location.
Absolutely. Karishma, thank you so much for getting us all those details.